He lurked in the shadows, waiting and hoping she wouldn't take a different route. This was a usual room. He knew that. He knew her.
Ghost of Me, the new book by Amanda Steele, can be found at Amazon, Kobo, Waterstones, and many, many other places. Hi guys, this is Andy N. Live from Comics Unity. We first started Comics Unity off around about 18 months ago with just me and Michael, and Amanda has come on board since. But the podcast is designed to cover the latest and breaking news in the world of comics, whether in relation to TV programs, films, books, general news, and of course comics themselves. Although a lot of our episodes are now on various platforms such as this, the complete archive can be found over at Comics Unity Podcast Series. That's all one word. Comics Unity Podcast Series, full stop, Bandcamp, full stop.com. Enjoy. Take care. Bye bye.
Right, Amanda, this is a weird day today, isn't it?
No weirder than normal if you're going out with you.
Oh, meow. Now, of course, people who number you know by now expected Michael to crack up now, wouldn't they? Saying, oh, ha, ha, like that, who's right.
Yeah.
But fortunately, Sarah's here today now.
He's not here.
No, he's not here. Now, because of course it's Comics Unity, and we normally would have Michael with us, wouldn't we, Amanda? So, yeah, but unfortunately, with the coronavirus scare going on at the moment, unfortunately, for his own health reasons and his own family reasons, he's not going to be able to make Comics Unity for some time now. And Michael, this episode and the next couple we're going to do are for you, buddy. Stay safe. Look after your family.
Yeah.
Okay, now, obviously, I don't want to go into a lot of day because normally if Michael's here, we're doing a big long news episode. But there isn't any news at the moment, there really is there?
And plus, you'd hear it all flying over my head.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of it I won't, obviously, with the comics news and stuff like that. Nearly everything's been postponed, cancelled, delayed. Some case altogether just completely removed from schedules and you won't ever hear it again. So there's not much point us doing comics news at the moment. So what we're going to do, Monday now, aren't we, then, for the foreseeable future, and this is what people bear in mind that want to directly tune in into our programme is, we're going to concentrate on what we're watching, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then we're going to do supernatural episodes, and you'll see what we've got along, okay? We'll do lots of little mini episodes for you to catch up with things. Now, what are we doing first, Amanda?
What we've been watching.
Yeah. Now, do you want to, first of all, Amanda, should we go through what we've been watching together?
Yeah.
Okay, I can only think of one programme we've been watching together since the last Comics Unity sessions, so unless you've got something I've forgotten about.
No. Is it the same cheerful programme I'm thinking of?
Yep.
Yeah.
American
comedy.
Yeah, one of the archives, this one, American Horror Story, Season 2. Now, that was... Amanda, how do you want to describe it?
I actually found it therapeutic.
You bloody would. Now,
with the way things are, it's like, no matter how bad things are, that series thinks we're worse in there for people.
I've got a bit of everyone's never watched American Horror Story, of course. It's an anthology series, isn't it, Amanda?
Yeah, I watched the first one on my own.
Do you want to tell the story about your dad with that?
Yeah, when I originally tried to watch it, my dad said it looked good, and I sat down. I can't remember if I managed 1 or 2 episodes, but if you've ever seen the first series of American Horror Story, you'll understand why I stopped watching it with my dad, because it got very awkward.
That's the best way of putting it.
There's some scenes that you probably shouldn't watch with a family member.
Well, ironically, in the second season, but I've not seen it to compare, it was probably just as explicit, wasn't it?
Kind of.
Yeah. Now, we can thank your younger sister for this recommendation as well, Helen, can't we? Thank you, Helen. Because what did Helen say about this?
I mean, she says it's the most messed up.
Yeah, messed up is the word I would use. When you're trying to eat breakfast and you see people getting some of the stuff going on in that series, it's just downright to put it.
It's good for your diet, though.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And you can see the ambulance is coming to get us now. The drag could take us away in the background.
Yeah, well, don't take us to that hospital.
God, yeah. Now, I do need to explain with American Horror Story Season 2, so I've made a couple of notes on this, Amanda, okay?
Yeah.
To be a bit of background. The season begins in 1964 at the fictional mental institution, Blaircliff Manor, following the events of the staff and the inmates who occupy it, and interacts with events in the past and the present. Now, there was quite a lot of returning cast members in this series.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
recognised them from the first series,
Yeah.
playing different people.
That's what the point was, because I think originally before it was going to be like same story, like different storylines, weren't the same cast of people. But it wasn't. This set up as an anthology series. So you had Zachary Quinton, who I know more from when he played Heroes, and he played
He was good in that.
Oh, best thing in that he was. And also played Spock in the recent Star Trek films, didn't he? Sarah Paulson, who I know more from Prison Break, but you know her from the first couple of seasons of The Walking Dead, don't you, as well?
Yeah. I can't broadcast what I call her though, so
Yeah, well, you've
better
got...
not say anything.
Yeah, that's true. You've got Evan Peters, Lily Rabe, Jessica Lange, Dylan McDermott, and Francis Conroy, with additional cast members in this second of Joseph Fiennes, Lizzie Branchard, and James Cromwell. Now, I found it, Amanda, it was, part of me said it was a very, very disturbing series. Do you think it was too bleak in some ways?
Not really, that's what it prides itself on, I think. I mean, I've not seen the rest, I've only seen 2 seasons, but I'm guessing they're all quite good.
Now, it was funny observing it, because I think it was one of those ones where there was more villains in it than actual heroes, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of people you actually had much sympathy for, really.
Well, there was a couple of people, I think.
Sarah Paulson's character, obviously, she was flawed.
Yeah.
And also you deal with Evan Peters as well, who obviously, his character was he was probably one I really thought sorry for, truth be told you. Now, I don't want to give too much away with this, Amanda, but obviously, but what was there anything you didn't like about the series? And what would you strength? Was there much you really liked about it?
No, I enjoyed it.
I felt it went off the last 3 episodes when they wrote out 2 characters, and I'm not going to reveal who, with one of them getting cremated alive.
Yeah, that was quite fun.
That was cheerful than the word. You're having your breakfast at 7:30 in the morning. It was good fun, that, Amanda, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
So that's why I was looking at you thinking, oh, God, literally. But, like, it was, that was where, like, for me, and this is a personal opinion, I think it went off the rails a bit the last 3 episodes, really. So it took it in a different direction.
But you've said to me that the 3rd season kind of follows on from that, so I've got a feeling it's probably setting up some storyline.
Some of the characters apparently come in the 4th and 5th series.
Yeah.
And is it the forthcoming 10th season? Are dealing with what happened to Evan Peters in the 2nd season, apparently.
I don't know. I don't know what series it's up to now. It's up
Episode
to quite
9.
a lot.
It's episode 9 or something now.
Yeah.
The forthcoming series, anyway.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how far they got into it. So, like I said,
I
that's
think
what's coming.
most of them are on Netflix.
Yeah, well, I mean, it means anyone's enjoying lockdown. You want to get depressed, watch that.
That'll cheer you up, because it's even worse than what's going on now.
Yeah, that says a lot, really. So, but anyway, so that's all we got to say about that, Amanda, haven't we?
Yeah.
Have you been watching anything else, then, really? You've been watching The Walking Dead, haven't you?
I watched the 15th episode of the current season.
Now, we've got to state with The Walking Dead, that's not the conclusion of the season, is it?
No, because there's an episode remaining that's not finished yet, and we don't know when it's going to end. And the way it left off, it's like a season cliffhanger on itself.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to give the cliffhanger away, man, because a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, if anybody's seen it, and if not, just stick your fingers in your ears and shout la la la.
Yeah, for about 2 minutes.
The guy who's in charge of the Whisperers now that their main one's dead was leading all the zombies to everyone, and they're basically in deep doo-doo. That's the polite version to say.
Yeah, that's
and you see how many zombies are there.
How was it? Is this episode season 9 or 10 now on Walking Dead?
Oh, God, I don't know if I know there's going to be another whole season, and then I think 2 after this, and then it finishes. Yeah.
But they're up to the comics finished on 194, was it? Something like that. I know they're up to the 170s now, so they can't hope to carry it on much longer anyway, that's for sure. So, fair play. So,
but I read somewhere that they've not got an ending for it yet, even though they've announced it's going to end, but they don't know how.
that's one of those ones where they just don't know what. Yeah, well, all should be revealed, isn't it?
Yeah, Rick wakes up in the shower and it was all a dream.
Blimey. Oh, no. Oh, no. What? He steps out of the shower and goes back into this life instead.
Yeah, he finds it was all a
BBC.
dream, but then he goes into his bedroom and finds his best mate with his slutty wife.
Yeah, as you can see, guys and girls, Amanda's not really keen on Sarah Paulson's character in that series. Now, what he'd probably do, man, they'd probably step out of the shower and go and do Love Actually 2.
Yeah.
Which
He finds them all in the living room going, come on, Andrew, it's time to start filming.
yeah, we're
It's
gonna.
like, I'm not Andrew, I'm Rick. No, you were just an actor, it was all a dream.
Like that. Right, okay. Do you want to know what I've been watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've watched a few bits. Because we've been in lockdown at the moment. Obviously, our sleep patterns are a bit different, aren't they, Amanda? Really, there's nothing wrong with saying it.
Yeah.
You tend to go to bed at 9, 10 most nights, don't you?
Yeah, and then get up at 3 and 4 and 5.
Yeah. Well, I tend to normally go to bed about midnight, 1ish sometimes. We've had a couple of occasions recently, haven't we? Where
one in, one out.
literally, I get in at going to bed at 1 and Amanda's up at 2 then. So, but do you want to know what I've been watching?
Yeah.
Okay. I've started watching the first season, rewatching the first season of Person of Interest.
That sounds interesting, but there's too much for me to catch up on.
Well, it's somebody that wants to watch 9 seasons of American Horror
Yeah,
Story.
well, I can only catch up on binge watching so much.
Yeah, no, that's I've just gone back and watched this. So now what I've done here is I've actually made some notes on this. Do you want to go for the notes again?
Yeah.
Be easier. Now the series, I didn't realise it's actually the first season is 10 years old now. Done to 2011.
Wow,
It went. I know it has. And it ran for 5 years and finished off in 2016.
Yeah.
I didn't know J.J. Abrams had a big hand, was one of the executive producers on it. But it was Jonathan Nolan's first major TV projects, and you do know him, don't you?
Yeah.
We did Westworld, which I'm going to talk about afterwards. And I'll just read all. I nicked all this off Wikipedia, so this is nothing to hide. Okay. The series centres on a mysterious, reclusive billionaire computer program named Harold Finch, who develops a computer program for the federal government known as the Machine. It's capable of collating all kinds of source information to predict and identify people planning terrorist acts. And he soon realises the machine has gained sentience and has invested in all kinds of equality, human control, moral and ethic conferences, and he ends up recruiting John Reese, a former Green Beret, to help him try and deal with the problems that are coming from this, where the police weren't taking action on these minor crimes. And then other people get involved as well. So okay. Jennifer, what do you want me to tell you?
Well, I'd ask if you like it, but obviously you did, you won't be watching it.
Well, it's the first time I've seen it really since it's finished in 2016. I watched them all at the time. I'm just going backtracking now basically on this one and sometimes you find when you watch series from 10 years ago, you're thinking, oh, it's dated this already.
Yeah, sometimes.
This and actually, I think, has stood up fairly well, actually, truth be told you. I've actually enjoyed it. It's 23 episodes, as Michael was chatting to the other day, told me. You think when you get that network series like that, it's a bit much sometimes, isn't it? Because it starts getting a bit formatic.
Yeah.
And it does a bit in places, this one. But I've enjoyed it because what's been good is they've actually introduced the 2 baddies in this, that I know reoccur for the full 5 seasons, 2 of them. They were talking about them in hints, like saying Elias mentioned Elias several times he's one of the baddies. And Root that came on the 2nd, 3rd series more, she was mentioned about 5, 6 episodes in the end and mentioned again then. And you see a blacked out face of them with a computer voice talking. And so I liked it because it didn't give you all the information straight away, It built it up, brick by brick.
Yeah, so is it like watching it for the first time, or do you see the episode come up and then you think, oh, I remember what happened here and
I remember some of them.
Yeah.
There's certainly, because when Elias came into it, I remember the actor that played him. So I knew straight when I got the episode and they brought him into it, the actor was playing somebody else. That was in disguise, shall we say. Oh, I remember that one. Then when Root comes in, remember that one. And there's the odd one, because characters come into that, Rhea Cook, then come into it again. That's one, and he first came into it. Yeah. Very enjoyable. It's escapism, but again, it's not. Sometimes it's this sort of time you don't want to watch anything too heavy, do you? So.
No.
Okay.
So, any bad points about it?
Not really. As I said, I think some of them, the episodes are a bit formatic in places. A couple of them are a bit predictable. It's just like I said, binge watch, some of the binge watching, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So, okay. Do you want to know some other ones I'm watching?
Yeah.
I'll touch on both these next two, but I don't want this episode to turn into a 40-minute episode. Right?
No.
I am 5 episodes into the 3rd season of Westworld.
Right. I
No.
started watching this with you. I really liked the first season. I think I got lost really badly in the second season and I gave up.
Well, it's interesting enough with Westworld, the actual ratings nosedived in the 2nd season.
Yeah.
Because I think what they did in the 2nd season was they got too complicated. They had about 5 storylines going on at once in 5 different various time zones, and I think it proved too much to people and they lost a lot of ratings. So what's happened in... I better sure we don't tell people. Nick, use Wikipedia again, shall I?
Yeah.
Our old friend Wikipedia. Sorry, Wikipedia. And then I'll carry on then, okay? No, it's only a paragraph, half paragraph notes, okay? Westworld was created and developed by Jonathan Nolan and is based to a degree on the American science fiction and dystopian film written and developed by Michael Crichton back in the late 70s. Season 1 and 2 deal with a park that caters to high-flying guests who may indulge their wildest fantasies within the park without fear or retaliation from the hosts. It will prevent malad programming from harming humans. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you remember the end of season 1 when they all went to Revolution, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then the 2nd season seems to be carrying on from that, really. And what seemed to happen at the end of the 2nd season was some of the robots got out. So they're in the world, the real world now, tackling somebody that I think is the owner of the park. So there's a war coming. And what seems to happen is the 3rd season, it seems like the main characters so far have escaped to the outside world. They seem to be heading for war with each other. And the villain, who I'm not going to name, Evan Rachel Wood, if you remember her.
Yeah.
Do you remember who she played in the first season?
Was that the blonde one?
Yeah, Dolores, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Fandy Newton, do you remember her?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, seem to be the 2 main characters. And interesting enough, when both in the outside world have barely met yet, they didn't really meet in the 1st series, 2nd season. And it seems to be like a lot tighter, possibly because it's on a reduced number of episodes, only 8 episodes this time. And they've had an actor coming called Aaron Paul, if you've heard of him.
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think you've seen him and stuff before. He's known. He's quite known actually, and he's been brought in as I won't say love interest, but a sidekick sort of role for Dolores, and he's really added so much to the role he's done basically. So, and it's been a lot better this series, but they've dropped the Western element and gone to dystopian features. So
Yeah. I mean, I've not seen the season, so there might be a reason for this. But I can't help thinking that if I was one of the robot people in that world and I escaped, I'd just disappear and just try and live a normal life rather than causing trouble for myself.
Yeah, it's not happened that much. I went the dealing with the consequence of what happened in the 2nd season because soldiers came in and killed a lot of robots in the 2nd season, quenched the revolution, so they're just fighting back basically. It's been a better series. It has been a better series so far, that's for sure. So, but again, I don't want to give too much away, but we might do a full season review on that when it's done in a couple of weeks' time. We'll do a future episode, but it's worth watching. I preferred it. Okay, and I've got one more, Amanda.
Don't know what this is.
Altered Carbon.
Oh, that.
Anybody might remember I've watched Altered Carbon season 1. Amanda, go on, tell people what you thought of it.
I didn't think much of it. That's a polite way to say it.
Fair enough. Well, I'll read out the bit on Wikipedia again, okay? Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Altered Carbon is an American cyberpunk web series created by 2 people, by somebody, a name I can't pronounce, and based on a 2002 novel of the same name by English author Richard K. Morgan. It's in a world where consciousness can be transferred to different bodies. Takashi Kazisku, former soldier turned investigator, must solve the murder. Okay, now the 1st season had on the casting in it, I'm reading my notes here now, was Joel Kinnaman in the lead role. And Joel Kinnaman has done a lot of stuff, and we've seen him in he was in not Doom Patrol, he was in Suicide Squad first film.
Okay.
And he was also in that Hannah, if you're in that Amazon TV series, in that. So he does a lot of stuff, and he's also been in a couple of that big Swedish TV crime drama. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, done a lot of stuff anyway. So he's not in the second season. The second season he was replaced. Well, that's it's a trick really, this series, because like Doctor Who, they transform body to body with consciousness. Yeah. This seems to do the same trick, because it's like sleeves, they call it, rather than just changing actors. Anthony Mackie, have you heard of him?
I've heard the name somewhere.
He plays the Falcon in the Marvel series.
Right,
Marvel.
okay.
He takes over the lead, and so with him coming in, it was a bit different, because the first season was a lot more explicit. It was. It's almost like Joel Kinnaman was quite happy to get his tackle out all the time. I don't think Anthony said, I don't think our new guy, Anthony Mackie, was as keen on that one. So it was, and what they do, the plot seemed to change a lot. It was much more streamlined, much more action based.
Yeah.
It's a funny one, because my side of things, I'm not sure whether I preferred the weirdness of the first series more, because possibly did, because I thought Anthony Mackie was really good in it. I think he was better probably than Joel Kinnaman as the leads. But I want as wild on the backing cast. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get that way, but I said, it's all right. So it was worth watching. There has been an Altered Carbon cartoon movie come out as well, which came out just after the second season. I've not seen that yet, so I can't comment. Right, Amanda.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Well, you've watched quite a lot, actually.
I've not done bad there, actually, really, have I? So, not done bad there. Just stopping up late at night, that was all. No, the Westworld I watch once a week. And I think I'll do about one a week on Altered Carbon. So, and I've not finished the first season of Person of Interest yet. So can we reveal people? Is there anything else we want to watch at the moment?
Oh, well, I'm going to watch the third season of American Horror Story, probably on my own.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one. There's something come on Netflix, isn't there? Gavin told us about. Was it Pose? What was it? I think it was another psychological horror series. I forgot to double check that one.
Yeah, well, let's look into that.
Look into that, and I said, we'll get you one, guys. I said, the plot is, like I said, is to try and watch something of one or two series just to talk about casually every month, basically, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And hopefully, in the next month or two, things will calm down again, won't they? So.
Yeah.
But anyway, Michael's not here to wave bye with the camera, is he?
No.
And
I'm not cheesed by that police car,
yeah, it's got a police car on the back of us now. Glad they're busy today. Anyway, Amanda, do you want to wave bye at the camera then?
Bye, camera.
Bye, camera. See you all soon, guys. Take care.